now, your first Alert 5 weather.
Good Sunday morning, everyone. We're looking at mostly clear skies throughout most of southern Colorado right now. Current temperature in the Springs is 49 degrees. I want to point your attention to this number right here, though, the humidity value, because that means there's a lot of moisture in the air, which is fuel for some of these thunderstorms that we're going to see later on this afternoon. Even down in Trinidad, where we're under partly to mostly cloudy skies, but still the humidity value is up there at 93% and a temperature of 46 degrees. Elsewhere around the region at this time, we're up into the 50s now in Kit Carson. Pueblo, you are also at 52. Canyon City, 56, whereas everyone else is checking in somewhere in the 40-degree range at this hour. Most of Colorado is mostly clear at this hour as we start off our Sunday, but just like Saturday yesterday, this is how it started, and then we had thunderstorms in the afternoon. And even in the water vapor loop, it doesn't look like this map has changed much because we still have this area of low pressure here spinning here. Now it's in parts of actually Southern California and Nevada at this hour, but we still have the jet stream and it's sending chunks of energy our way, and we're still going to see yet another round of thunderstorms igniting along the same pattern as we go into our Sunday forecast. So here's what we're looking for today. Mostly clear to start, but then as we get into the afternoon hours, right around 1 o'clock, once again, here come these thunderstorms building in the mountains. You'll see the clouds. Some of that wispy cirrus might be blowing off onto the eastern plains. In the next couple of hours, from between 1, 2, 3 o'clock, here's where the thunderstorms start to roll onto the I-25 corridor. Pueblo, maybe as soon as 2 o'clock, you see a thunderstorm down towards Walsenburg as well, and then they move on to I-25 corridor. Heavier thunderstorms will start to develop 2, 3, 4 o'clock, moving out onto the eastern plains, much like what we saw yesterday. Some of these will be severe, and even along the eastern plains here where we have a stationary front, this is where we could see some of the strongest storms developing later on this afternoon. Severe weather outlook is like this. We now have a marginal threat that goes into the front range down in the Sangres and Wet Mountains. The slight risk now encompasses all of the I-25 corridor going clear out into western Kansas. So that means a good bet for large hail as well as strong gusty winds with some of these thunderstorms. And speaking of hail, here is the risk. 15% with those thunderstorms, so that means a good bet that if it is going to be a thunderstorm, there will be some small hail at minimum with some of these storms later on today, so please take precautions. Afternoon temperatures, lower 70s for the Palmer Divide. We're going to increase the clouds as we go throughout the morning hours into the early afternoon. Mid to upper 70s, pretty much the temperatures of what we saw yesterday. A carbon copy forecast, as we like to say in the weather office. With Pueblo, our temperatures will top off in the lower to mid 80s, but again, a chance of thunderstorms later on this afternoon. So watch out for those skies because they're going to become a little bit ominous as we get towards the later hours. 70s up towards Greeley and Akron with 60s in Steamboat, Aspen, and 55 degrees in the higher elevations for Leadville. Forecast looks like this. 77 here today in the Springs with a chance of those thunderstorms. They'll be building in the mountains, rolling off into I-25, and then moving off into the eastern plains later today. Another chance for thunderstorms tomorrow as well on Monday. Yes, we're already talking about Monday, but I think this one will be further off into the eastern plains. We're talking western Kansas. Pueblo, you'll have a temperature of around 89, close to 90 degrees. It'll be a little bit warmer, in part because the severe weather will be out towards the eastern plains, so there won't be as much cloud development, and we should see our temperatures rising up a little bit tomorrow afternoon. Canyon City, also a good chance for thunderstorms today and tomorrow. A bit of a break on Tuesday, but that low from California finally moves across the country midweek. We start to see a rebound in our temperatures as we get towards the end of next work week. But it is a busy couple of days in the Weather Center for sure, so we're going to be keeping our eyes on the radar, and we will break into coverage if it's warranted for some of these severe thunderstorms later on today.
Right, and after last summer, one of the words I know a lot of people in our viewing area don't want to hear is hail. Just because, I mean, we had that really bad hailstorm by Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Security Wide Field Fountain area got hit twice, I think, last year. You know,
it's one of those things where it's Colorado, hail is a part of it, and it's one of those things where everyone's going to get it. It's just a matter of if it's your year or not.
Yep.
And unfortunately for my grapevines, this is now year 3. So.
Oh, man. All right.
Things could be a lot worse. Things could always be worse.
All right. Thanks so much, Tim.
Yep.